What up, everybody? It's your boy, Sack the King, up in this motherfucking man, back with another video. As y'all can see from the title and the thumbnail, more witnesses testify in Diddy trial, including Cassie's mom. Hit that subscribe button below so you can be the first to know and help the channel grow. Now, 4 people testified today on Diddy. I don't know if y'all want to take it as testified in his behalf or testified against him, because you know, some of these testimonies, it still is not proving anything that they're charging him with, okay? But there was some damaging things that were said. David James was his assistant. That is the older looking gentleman in the thumbnail. He probably looked way different 15 years ago when he said that he worked for Diddy. And this guy has full immunity, by the way, so he can say anything he wants without fear of persecution from anybody, okay? But he didn't say anything that was negative about Diddy, that didn't prove any of the prosecution and the Fed's case. He basically said, and I'm paraphrasing this whole testimony, that he was Diddy's assistant. He never seen Diddy hit Cassie, not one time. And like I said, he has full immunity, so he doesn't have to lie. He can tell the truth without any fear of anything, right? He said that he once caught Cassie in a freak off with an escort with long hair and Diddy wasn't around. So that right there states that she was having freak offs on her own without Diddy even around. He said it was the one with the long hair. If y'all notice in that last video that I put, I think the guy's name is Ash. He's the only one with long hair. He has a goatee with long hair. That's the one that's in jail for murder right now. He killed his girlfriend some years back. But at the time, that's the one that I'm thinking that he said he caught Cassie with in a freak off, and Diddy was not there. So he fucked Cassie in Diddy's house on Star Island, and Diddy was not there. So she was having freak offs by herself. He testified that he went with Diddy the day that the Mel's Diner incident happened, which has been somewhat of a big, discussion in this case from each testimony. Cassie said that she did not go with Diddy to confront Suge Knight at the Mel's Diner. The assistant testified that she did go, and that the assistant is the one who drove the Silver Navigator. So that just puts another hole in Cassie's story, okay? But he said nothing happened. There was no violence. He did say that he seen Diddy with guns, but this was after D-Rock had came and said that, he had seen Suge. They didn't find nobody. They spent around there a couple times, and they didn't find nobody. And that's basically his testimony. Those were the highlights. Wasn't a damaging testimony against Diddy. He actually, laid foundation to Cassie having freak offs by herself without Diddy even being there, as stated in the first escort who was there. And Cassie, I believe her own testimony as well, that she had freak offs when Diddy wasn't there. And she had freak offs where she didn't even have sex with nobody. She watched Diddy have sex with women. So they both was doing it, okay? That sounds like a freaky ass couple to me. That does not sound like sex trafficking. Then Cassie's mom took the stand, right? Cassie's mom testified that she took out a loan for $20,000 and wired it to Diddy because Diddy had threatened to release a sex tape of Cassie because he felt like he lost money while she was dating Kid Cudi. I didn't see this in her testimony, but I've seen on the internet that Diddy gave her money right back a week later, okay? 20 bands. What the fuck is he going to do with 20 bands? He spits 20 bands out, okay? That's nothing, all right? If anything, he was doing that shit to put her family in a hardship for about a week, which is some sort of control and power. But is it really illegal to get your lick back when you feel like somebody's done something to you? I mean, people do this kind of shit all the time and never go to jail for it, okay? But, and she said that Cassie first told her that Diddy hit her in 2011. Okay, you didn't instruct your daughter to leave this relationship at all? Your daughter still stayed with him until 2018? And you knew about this since 2011? I wonder why. Is it because maybe you were living up under some of these lavish lifestyle as well when you didn't mention that Diddy bought you a house? When you didn't mention that Diddy brought your husband from the Philippines, gave your son a job? You didn't mention that. And the most damaging thing is that Diddy's defensive lawyers didn't even cross-examine her. They didn't even cross-examine her. I would have been the main question. If any question I would have got up there and asked her, I would have said, ma'am, is it true, according to your daughter's testimony, that she started writing a book with your knowledge and your help, and you guys sent chapters of this book to Mr. Combs and demanded $30 million? Because that's what Cassie testified to. She testified that. Her mom put her up to that shit and her husband. I would at least ask that. And when she said no, they would have caught her in a lie. If she said yeah, that would have proved extortion right there. They dropped the ball on that. How can you drop the ball on Cassie's mom? Oh my God, I don't know. They need another paralegal in there. I'm a hood nigga, and I got the common sense to know that. Okay, moving on. They interviewed another escort. His name is Sheree Hayes. He's called the Punisher. He's a bald, light-skinned black dude, no facial hair at all. You know what I'm saying? If y'all look in those, in the last video I dropped with the escort's pictures on there, he's the bald one. He looked kind of gay with no facial hair at all. There was a couple of them, but he's like my color. You feel me? He testified that Cassie is the one that always paid him, okay? She's the one that always handed over the money. That doesn't sound like sex trafficking to me. Even though we know that it was Diddy's money, Cassie is still the one who gave him the money. Diddy never gave him no money. So you can't say he's sex, like there no money exchange hands from him to Diddy or Diddy to him. That would be sex trafficking if he said, yeah, man. Yeah, I'm gonna sell my bitch off to you, man. Fuck her for me and I'm gonna give you some bread. No, we know he did that, but I'm saying Cassie is the one that gave him the money, physically herself, okay? He also testified that he never used drugs with Diddy or Cassie, and he never seen them use drugs together. And every time that they had sex, which was between 8 and 12 times, Cassie always paid him from 800 up to the thousands, and even paid him when she would cancel on him. So they used this guy multiple times and canceled on him multiple times. Yeah, like I said, he said he never used drugs with them. He took a hit of a joint one time with Cassie, he said. And he said that this nigga Diddy, in their first session, Cassie is the one that contacted him, got him over there, and that Diddy came out butt-ass naked with some Astroglide with a fucking veil over his face. But he knew it was Diddy because he follows him on Instagram. That's what he said, you know what I mean? He wrote a book about erectile dysfunction because, I don't know if y'all remember in Cassie's testimony, if you've been following the transcript, she said some male escorts weren't able to perform. This was probably the guy she was talking about. My thing is, nigga, if you're called the Punisher, how the fuck are you having ED? Like, it makes sense. But anyways, that's his business, not mine. I'm just reporting. I'm just telling y'all what the fuck is going on in this trial, right? That was basically it. He didn't have any damning evidence against Diddy. He basically stated Cassie paid him for the sex all the time. He never used drugs with them and never seen them use drugs together and never seen any acts of violence. And he was paid thousands of dollars and he fucked Cassie 8 to 12 times and he even raw dogged her, okay? Then they had a federal agent who was a part of the raid in Diddy's house in March of 2024. All they said they found was an M16 with some bullets and the serial number scratched off and some baby oil and shit like that. And no drugs was found or nothing like that. That was basically it. That was basically today's testimony. Kid Cudi is supposed to testify this week. We'll see what he gets on the stand and says. It's your boy, Sack the King. Hit that subscribe button below so you can be the first to know and help the channel grow. King.